Welcome to the Leading Life Podcast, the place where leadership meets real life. Here is where we talk about leading with intention, living with clarity, and getting better results for the people we serve every single day. If you're ready to grow, you're in the right place. Right now, on today's episode, 10 blind beliefs that are holding us back. Welcome to the Leading Life Podcast. I'm Andy Zook. This isn't just a podcast about leadership. It's about who you are becoming as a leader and as a person. As a leader of leaders, my mission is to evolve how we lead, bringing modern thinking and real human impact into a world that's still holding on to many outdated leadership models. Leadership today isn't just about results. It's about how you show up. It's how you develop your people and help them build a fulfilling life. I've spent more than 35 years leading teams, building people, and learning what actually works and what doesn't. So I promise you, no fluff, no empty motivation, just practical actions you can take immediately in your next meeting, your next tough conversation, and the moments that actually define you as a leader. So here are my 10 blind beliefs that are holding us back. Number one, my thoughts are facts. Yep. Most people don't realize this, but your brain is constantly narrating your life. And that narration is influenced by our fears or our past experiences and our insecurities. So when a thought pops up like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not ready for this, or they don't respect me, or this won't work, it feels true to us, but feelings aren't facts. So the danger is when you act on those thoughts without questioning them. You start making decisions based on distortions instead of reality. Here are a couple questions to ask yourself to work through this. Is this a fact, or is this just a story that I'm telling myself right now? What evidence do I actually have that this thought is true? What evidence might exist that this thought is not true? And am I reacting to what's happening or what I think is happening? Those are some really great questions to work through. Number two, I need validation to feel worthy. This is one that trips a lot of people up. This one gets wired early on in our life. You do something good, you get praise. You perform, you get approval. So you learn, my value comes from outside of me. Now fast forward, you're chasing likes, recognition, titles, someone saying you're enough. But that's the trap. External validation is temporary. The moment it fades, you're back searching again. Real confidence comes when your standards matter more than the applause. So some questions to ask yourself is, am I doing this because it matters to me or because I want approval? Whose voice am I trying to satisfy right now and why? And then ask yourself, if no one ever praises this, would I still be proud of what I'm doing? All right, number three, I have time. Yeah, this belief is subtle but powerful. It doesn't say don't do it. It says you can do it later. And that sounds reasonable, but later becomes next week. Later becomes next year, or when things settle down. We always say that when the dust settles. Oh, we're so crazy right now. But one day you're going to look up and realize you've delayed the very life that you always wanted. Time doesn't disappear dramatically. It slips quietly. So some questions to ask yourself is, what am I putting off right now that actually matters to me? And if nothing changes, where will I be 1 year from today? And lastly, am I delaying this because I truly can't or because it's uncomfortable? That brings us to number 4, which is avoid discomfort. Yeah. Our brain tells us that all the time. Your brain is wired to protect you. So when something feels uncomfortable, like a hard conversation or taking a risk or being vulnerable, your instinct is to avoid it. But here's the truth. Discomfort is not danger, it's growth. So every level of your life requires a new level of discomfort. If you avoid it, you'll stay exactly where you are. And I think I've told this story 1,500 times on the podcast, but I'm in Sedona and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go climb Devil's Bridge today. And I am terrified of heights, right? I get all the way up. It's a couple, mile or two to get up to this place called Devil's Bridge, which is a natural rock formation. I get up there and I look over the edge and I'm like, oh my God, if I fall off this, I'm dead. So I stop in my tracks and there's this guy next to me. He goes, brother, you made it this far. Keep going, cross the bridge. So I did. I just got up and said, you know what? I'm not going to let fear stop me. I'm going to reach into this uncomfortable feeling and I'm going to cross the bridge. And I did. And when I got to the other side, there was a woman around my age, terrified. She was at the other end, terrified, like she was not going to do it. And I said, look, if I did it, you can do it too. So just remember, don't let that fear dissuade you from growth. Avoiding discomfort is exactly what that is. All right, let's talk about number 5. People say this all the time. That's just who I am. Is it really? Because this one sounds like self-awareness, but it's often self-limitation. People say, oh, I'm just not disciplined, or, oh, I'm not a people person, or I've always been like this. But what they're really saying is, this is the version of me that I've practiced the most. Identity isn't fixed. It's built through repetition. And anything built can be rebuilt. You know, it's like the classic story of the 2 sons of an alcoholic father. One doesn't want to be like his dad, so he doesn't drink. But the other one becomes an alcoholic too, because he just assumes he's just like his dad. Alan Watts has a great saying, you are under no obligation to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago. So some questions to ask yourself is, what part of me am I holding on to that no longer serves who I want to become? Or if I didn't feel tied to my past, how would I show up differently today? And what's one small way I could act like the person I want to be right now? That takes us to number 6. Success will fix everything. Yeah, this is one of the biggest illusions out there. People think when I get there, I'll feel complete, or when I achieve that, everything will settle. But success doesn't fix internal gaps. It amplifies them. So if you're insecure now, you're going to be insecure at a higher level. If you're unfulfilled now, you'll feel it even more when success doesn't fix it. Fulfillment isn't found at the finish line. It's found along the way. It's built in the process. You know, I remember being in my most highest position in my career. And while, yes, that did bring me more confidence, it didn't fix the things inside of me that were still broken. So you've got to do that internal heavy lifting first. Okay, number 7, people are thinking about me more than they are. Yeah, that's one that we get stuck in. That belief keeps people stuck in one place. You hesitate because you think, what will they think of me if I do this? What if I look stupid? Trust me, when I started the podcast, I didn't know if anybody was ever going to listen at all. I didn't know what it was going to sound like, what it was going to do. I didn't know what I was doing. I just grabbed a audio recorder that my wife got me and I put it out, sent it to my friends. The next thing you know, I did it again and again and again. And I never cared if it didn't sound perfect. I didn't care if I broke down crying in the middle of one of my episodes. I just put it out there because it's real. The reality is that most people are focused on themselves. They're thinking about their problems, their insecurities, and their next moves. So you're not the center of their attention. And once you realize that, you're going to get massive freedom back. So some questions to ask yourself are, am I holding back because of what people might think or because I'm afraid to be seen? Realistically, how much are people actually thinking about me right now? And if no one was judging me, what would I do differently today? Number 8, I need to feel ready before I act. Yeah, this one delays everything for you. People wait for confidence, clarity, and the motivation before they take action. But those things don't come first. Action creates them. So if you don't become confident and then act, you act and become confident. Waiting to feel ready is often just fear in disguise. Most people live in ready, aim, and they never fire, right? But there's a different mindset, and that is ready, fire, aim. Because you will start, you will learn, you'll adjust, you improve, you'll repeat. Hey, listen to the first couple podcast episodes of this podcast, and you'll see and hear, rather, how different it is now. I was just ready, and I fired. And then I aimed as I went along. So ready, you've got just enough clarity to begin. Fire, take action before you feel fully prepared. Aim, use feedback from real world results to refine your action. Okay, number 9, if I don't hold everything together, then everything will fall apart. This belief shows up in strong, responsible people. I get it. It makes sense. You become the fixer, the planner, the one who carries everything. Because you believe if I don't do it, no one will. But over time, it creates pressure, burnout, and a real killer here, and that is resentment. You weren't meant to carry everything. Strength isn't just holding things together, it's knowing what to let go of. So some questions to ask yourself are, what am I carrying right now that doesn't actually belong to me? Or am I helping or am I controlling because I don't trust others to step up? Or lastly, what's one thing I could let go of and what might actually improve if I did? Number 10, I already know myself. I'll leave you with this one because it's really the quietest and most dangerous belief you can have, that you already know yourself. And I can tell you at 56 going on 57, every day I'm learning something new about me that I never knew before. So if you think that way, you're shutting the door on improvement and growth. You stop asking, why did I react that way? Or what's really driving this? What am I not seeing? That's when curiosity stops. That's when your growth will stop. The most self-aware people don't claim to know themselves fully. They just stay open. They stay curious and they keep discovering. You won't break blind beliefs overnight, but the moment you see one clearly, it will begin to lose its power. Awareness creates choice, and choice creates change. Some questions to ask yourself on that are, where in my life have I stopped questioning myself? Or what reaction or pattern do I just keep repeating over and over and I haven't fully understood it yet? Or what might I discover about myself if I stayed curious instead of certain? And then lastly, what's one belief that I've been treating as truth that might deserve a second look? So I'm going to give you a simple call to action for this episode. Today, I don't want you to try to change everything. I just want you to notice yourself a little more and help alleviate some of these blind beliefs. Because the moment you see the pattern, you'll stop being controlled by it. So quick recap. Remember, don't fall for these blind beliefs. Number 1, my thoughts are facts. Number 2, I need validation to feel worthy. 3, I have time. 4, failure means something about me. 5, I need to really feel ready before I act. 6, if it's uncomfortable, it's wrong. 7, people are thinking about me more than they are. 8, I have to do everything myself. 9, this is just who I am. And 10, I already know myself. Like I said, you don't have to fix your whole life today. But if you could pick 1 or 2 of those to start working on, maybe journal through it in the morning or at the end of your day, I think that would be really powerful for you, because people fall into these, some of these, or all of these all the time. Don't let that be you. All right, that is today's episode. And if this gave you practical leadership insight, ways to live your life better, please share it with someone who it would help. And if it made a positive impact, I'd truly appreciate a quick rating or review on whatever platform you hear me on, and hit subscribe so you don't miss another episode of the Leading Life Podcast. I'm Andy Zook. I want you to lead with purpose, live with intention, and keep becoming who you are meant to be. But most of all, I want you to go out today and be the hero in somebody's story. Thanks for listening. Lead on. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye.